Okay, guys, welcome back to Heart Academy. And for this um, episode, I'm going to do the Pythagorean theorem when one of the legs is missing, when the A leg is missing. Okay, so remember the first video was when you had the the hypotenuse missing. This video will focus on problems that have the A leg missing. Okay, because I know you got some of those on your homework problems again. These are not the problems that are on your homework. These are simply example problems because I'm not doing your homework for you anymore. Plain and simple. Okay? So you need to make sure that you understand what's going on. You also remember that I'm available during lunch, during advisory. You can even set up time before or after school with me. So I'm hoping that you will take responsibility and make sure that you understand what's going on. If you don't, I hope that you will advocate for yourself and let me know if you need additional help past this further than this video. Okay, so here we go. Alrighty, so again we start with the formula. A squared plus, that's an A, not a 9. Please remember my handwriting sloppy. You guys get the idea. Okay, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Alright, as you know, the hypotenuse is the line, the side that's directly from the 90-degree angle, okay? So this is always side C. Basically, the longest side of the triangle is side C. The longest side of the triangle is side C. And you know where side C is because side C will always be straight diagonally across from that right angle. And this is going to be the bottom, so we represent that with a B, and then this is represented with A, meaning like the height, okay? So now I know where my letters are. I can start filling them in. A squared, do I have an A? No. So I'm going to bring that straight down as I see it. Plus B squared, do I have a B? Yes, I do. B equals 16. Make sure you understand that that's a B. B equals 16, so I will do 16 squared. Equals C squared. Do I have a C? Yes, I do. C is represented with 20, so 20 squared. Now, I can't solve that because the A is there, so I'll bring it back down again. Plus 16 squared. This is 16 times 16, my friends, not 16 times 2. Okay, so 16 times 16 is going to give us 256. Remember, you can use calculator. And then, remember that this is 20 times 20, not 20 times 2. So if I do 20 times 20, my answer is going to be 400. There. Now, how do I figure out what A is? Well, this is where we go back to what we first started learning a couple months ago, one-step equations. You must isolate A, basically an A as the only thing on this side of your street. This should look very familiar to you by now, okay? So, you see this? In order to get A by itself, I need to get rid of this. And I do the opposite of what I see. It's a positive 256. I will subtract 256 from both sides. This should be sounding very familiar to you by now. Subtract 256 from both sides, okay? What happens is that ends up canceling out, so I'm just going to bring down my A squared. Is that canceled out? I will do the math that's over here, 400 minus 256, okay? So I will do 400 minus 256. My answer will be 144. But wait, you're not done just yet. Remember, A represents the square root, or the square. I have to square that part. So just like we did for the other video, you take that answer and then do the square root of it. Okay? So when I do that, I will have 144, hit my square root button, 144, hit my square root button, 144, 12. Okay? So basically, A is 12. How do I know? Let me plug that 12 back in for A. 12 squared. 12 times 12 is 144. So once again, I just checked to make sure that 12 is my correct answer. So yes, A equals 12. Okay? A equals 12. Let's try that again with the next one. Again, practicing ones in which A is missing. Okay? Again, remember that straight diagonally from the right angle is always C. Then you have B for the bottom, A for the height. put in my formula, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay? Plug in what I have. Do I have a? Nah. So I'm just going to bring that straight down as it is. Do I have a b? Yes, 20. Don't forget, you're going to end up squaring it. Do I have a c? Yes, 25. Don't forget, you're going to end up squaring it. Okay? I can't do the math here because a is in the way. But I can do the math here. Remember, that's not 20 times 2. That is 20 times 20, which is going to give us 20 times 20 will give us 400. So this one is going to be 400. And then 25 times 25. 25 times 25 is going to give us 625. Right. So now here we are. We're back to the one-step equation part. You got to get a by itself. Okay? So in order to do that, I get rid of what I see by doing the opposite of what I see. Bring down my a squared. Remember that ended up canceling out, so I don't even have to bring it down. Equals 625 minus 400 is 225. 225. Okay? Don't forget you have to find a square root of that. Square root of 225 should give you 15. Okay? So final answer is 15. You can always double check by putting that 15 in place of the a. 15 squared, if you do that in a calculator, 15 times 15 is going to give you 225. So you know your answer is correct. A equals 15. A equals 15. Just like C equals 25 and B equals 20. We just figured out that A equals 15. All right. So let me find another one in which leg A is missing. I'm not sure there's one left on the sheet. Nope. So find a different one. This one has A missing, so I will do one more. Okay, we'll do two more. These two have A missing. Again, the problems that I'm doing for you right now are not your homework problems. I'm not doing your homework problems. I'm showing you examples of how to do your own homework problems. So here we go. Alrighty. So, as you can see, A is missing. I know that this is C because it is diagonal from the right angle. And it's also the longest side. C will always be diagonal from the right angle. It will also be the longest side of the triangle. The bottom of the triangle is going to be the base, and height looks like it's going to be A. Okay? So now I will write my formula. A squared. Somebody asked me today, do I have to show all the work? Yeah. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Okay? And you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to start using capital A because my A's look like 9s. Sorry. Okay? So I'm going to start using capital letters. That way we can see it a lot better. Okay? So I'm first going to figure out, do I have an A? Why, no, I don't. So I bring it back down the way it is. And now I'm going to do B squared. Do I have a B? Yes, I do. So that's going to be 48 squared equals C. Do I have a C? Well, yes, I do. 50 squared. So I cannot solve a squared, so I'm going to bring this back down as it is, plus 48 times 48. Again, that is not 48 times 2. It's 48 squared, so that is 48 times 48. If we do that, that's going to give us 2,304. 2,304. Now I'm going to do 50 squared. Again, that's not 50 times 2. It's 50 times 50. That's going to give us 2,500. Okay? So now I need to get A on this side of the street by itself. So again, for when the side A is missing, you have to do the equation thing. So I'm going to take out 2,304 from this side, take out 2,304 from this side. When I do that, this comes back down, A squared, that canceled out, and then I do the math over here, which will give me 196. But remember that final answer has to be the square root of this number. Okay? So I will now figure out what the square root of 196 is. Square root of 196 equals 14. So final answer is A equals 14. How do I know? Easy. Substitute 14 for A. So 14 squared. If you do this in your calculator, 14 times 14, you should get 196. That is how you know your answer is correct. All right? One more of showing what to do when the leg A is missing. My next video will be what to do when leg B is missing. All right, so again, this one has leg A missing. So I'm first going to identify which side is C, B, and I know that this is A. Okay, so now I'm going to A. Again, I should be using capital letters because it's hard. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. All right, do I have A? No, I don't. Bring that back down the way it is. Do I have a B? Yes, I do. B is 80. So 80 squared. Do I have a C? Yes, I do. 82 squared. Got it? So now, bring this down because you can't solve that just yet. Plus 80 times 80. Remember, that's 80 times 80, not 80 times 2. This will give you 6,400. Equals 82 squared. 82 times 82. This will give you 6,724. Now, I must get A by itself by doing the opposite of what I see. What happens is I can bring my A squared down, right? That canceled out. Subtract 6,400. You will get 324. But remember, that final answer must be the square root of this number. So the square root of 324, which is 18. A equals 18 for this one. How do I know? Plug in 18 for A, 18 squared. If you put 18 squared in your calculator, you'll get 324. And that's exactly what we started with. Okay? So this video concludes what to do when leg A is missing. Next video will show you what to do when leg